Mahalo, Kathy and Joni. Oh, wow. That was beautiful. I mean, it just touches my heart, and I'm just wanting to sit there and bask in it, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's time for me to get up and speak. Doesn't that move your heart? Wow. That is beautiful. Today we are looking at where there is no vision, the people perish. This comes from Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And that Hebrew word for perish can mean run wild, go, amok. And so there's another translation here, the Lytle translation, which is where there is no vision, the people go berserk. When I was a chaplain in psychiatry, I was under a lot of supervision, and there was a psychologist in charge of the supervision. And he was very interested in dog psychology as well. How many people here have dogs? Quite a few, okay. So you know about dogs, and if they're out in the backyard, there is a tendency sometimes for dogs to dig holes under the fence, to chew the corners of the siding, to, chase their own tails, to chase after each other. They're just running amok because they don't have a particular vision. They don't have a particular direction. So the psychologist told me, if you put a squirrel in the backyard, then suddenly they're all on point. Suddenly they're all focused. They're all working as one because they know what they're about. And the same is true with us, that if we do not have a sense of vision in our lives, then there's a great sense of feeling kind of awash and at sea, at not having a real sense of direction. Vision is what brings about our sense of strength, our power of strength. That's our power for this month. And it is represented by spring green and by the Apostle Andrew. Strength. We have the power to endure, to persevere, which is the power of strength, when we have a vision that keeps us going. In Kansas, some people were telling me that this is a winter day. Really? Then I'm in the right place. In Kansas, this is a beautiful spring day. Let me tell you, and I have driven in lots of snowstorms and lots of blizzards. I've been in blizzards where you could not see in front of your car whatsoever. I have driven to where it's a total whiteout, and you can't see anything, and you're in the middle of the country, and you have nowhere else to go, right? When you don't have a vision, it's real hard to know. And honestly, I would have to look out like the side of the window to see where the lines were on the highway to make sure I was still on the highway. Okay? That's winter. Just so you know. And when there is that loss of vision, it could be very scary driving in the middle of one of those kinds of storms. In the same way, in our lives, we can feel very amok if we don't know what our vision is. There is something in you that wants to come forth. There is something in you that is unique and beautiful. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. How many people here are amazing? Would you please raise your hand if you're amazing? Wow, this crowd is more amazing than the first service. It took now they were just as amazing. It just took a little longer for them to admit it. And I'm so glad to see you all willing to admit how amazing you are. Because millennia have gone into our coming here. Millennia have gone into our creation. There's no one that has been here quite like you before, right? Now, when I was a kid in school, that was not always meant as a compliment. But we are something very, very special, bringing forth a unique gift as ourselves. We're here to do something in a way that's never been done quite this way before. Now, I want to ask you a question. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? Everything. Good. I want you to think about that. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? I've been doing that with myself. Actually, Spirit's been doing that with me. You know, and like I might just start to drift a little bit, and Spirit will say, hey, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Well, I would do this, this, and this. Well, and Spirit speaks to me in very colorful language. I won't use it on a Sunday morning. But Spirit says, hot dog. Okay, there we go. Hot dog. Whatever you want to do, you can do, and you will do. Live it fully. What are you holding back for? This isn't time to, play halfway. We're not here to play small. We're here to come out. This is a great coming out party here at Unity Church of Hawaii, where we're coming out as our divine self, right? Now, someone who's been an influence in my life from his writings, from his teachings, is the neurologist, psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was Jewish. How many here have heard of Viktor Frankl? Again, more than in the first service. Not doing comparisons. Anyway, Viktor Frankl was in Germany during World War II, and being Jewish, a lot of people who were from minorities and people who were Jewish were taken into concentration camps. And so Viktor Frankl and his wife were taken into separate concentration camps. They separated them. And what Viktor began to realize there in the concentration camp is that he noticed something that could not be explained just by the physical. There were some people who appeared to be stronger physically. Conditions would be very harsh in the concentration camp. Hunger, disease, inadequate clothing. A lot of people died in the concentration camps, not only from going to the gas chambers, but just from the horrible conditions. And yet, Viktor Frankl noticed that there were some people who did not make it very long, even though physically they appeared to be stronger. And there were some people who were emaciated and maybe even sick, but they continue to endure and go on and on. So he realized there was something beyond the physical at work. Something beyond the physical. And in Unity, we call that metaphysical. The word meta just means greater than or beyond the physical. So he knew there was a metaphysical element here for these people who were surviving. And so I want to share with you a little bit of some of Viktor Frankl's teachings. He said, live as if you were living a second time and as though you had acted wrongly the first time. That is, why not live all out for what you really believe in? Why not live all out based on what you really know to be the truth? Why not live with courage and go all out? Because after all, what are we waiting for? Right? And then Viktor Frankl goes on to say, everyone has their own specific vocation or mission in life. Everyone must carry out a concrete assignment that demands fulfillment. Therein, they cannot be replaced, nor can their life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is unique as their specific opportunity to implement it. You are here to do something unique and amazing. Every single one of you. Repeat after me. I am. Amazing. I can't help it. I came in that way. I'm the divine in expression. Just breathe into that. That's the truth of it. You can't help it. You're God stuff in action. And this, don't worry about the child. I mean, I love this child because, I mean, when I was a little kid, I was up running around. I was causing havoc. They wondered, is anything good ever going to come of him? Seriously. I mean, we're all here to do something amazing. And I was this hyperactive kid, and the teachers wondered, what is wrong with him? And I think they'd be casting lots before school to see who had to get him. But that hyperactivity really comes in handy now. There's benefits to who you are because you're here to do something amazing. We're not cookie cutter like cookies, all the same shape. This church is not called uniformity, it's called unity. Right? We're not called uniformity, we're called unity. Because we bring all these different gifts, all these different backgrounds, all these different styles and faiths and ethnicities and colors. But we're all expressing the divine as us in a unique and beautiful way. So let's not do it halfway. Why not be the very best and highest self we can be? Be the best me we can be. Why not? Why not do it? Well, we got to lose. Why be someone else? They're already taken. Be you. Be who you are. And so I love this quote. Viktor Frankl was quoting from Nietzsche here. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. That is, if you have a reason, if you have a purpose, if you have a vision, you can put up with anything. Right? That's right. Now, Viktor Frankl, there in the concentration camp, he didn't know if his wife was still alive or not. He was standing in line with one of the other prisoners, and this other prisoner kept talking about his wife and how that was what kept him going. And Viktor Frankl grasped onto that and began thinking about his wife every day. And she began appearing to him and talking to him. He didn't know if it was real or if his imagination was making it up, but he didn't care because it gave him a purpose and a meaning. And he realized that there's no greater purpose than love. That loving another, having a mission and a vision greater than oneself, gives us the strength to keep going and to endure anything. That there is nothing more powerful than love. Sometimes we are taught in this world that the most powerful thing is force. And showing, I can control you. It's an illusion. The most powerful thing is actually love. And Viktor Frankl discovered that the power of love was what helped him to continue to live and to succeed and move forward. So, another person who had been imprisoned and very mistreated was Nelson Mandela. Now, both of these people, Viktor Frankl and Nelson Mandela, had seen the very worst of humanity. They had seen the worst that humanity could do. And somehow they had a vision that humanity is much better than this and can work together for a common vision. And that kept Nelson Mandela going for years and years in this prison camp he was in and work labor camp. And he said, action without vision is only passing time. That's like the dogs chewing the siding off the house. Right? They don't have a vision, but they're active. Vision without action is merely daydreaming. Like, oh, I got a wonderful vision. I'm not going to do anything about it, but, well, what good is that? But vision with action can change the world. When we combine your vision with action, you are undefeatable. You have this power and presence of God living forth a new dream as you, and that dream cannot be defeated. That's why you're here. You're God stuff. What can defeat you? Nothing can hold you back. And that's why we are here as a spiritual community, is to recognize that in each other. To recognize that we're the divine looking back upon itself. To recognize we're here to do something amazing as a spiritual community. This spiritual community didn't just happen. I mean, did you think that really? This spiritual community is a divine idea from the mind of God that has been millennia in the making and has come into such a time as this to do amazing things, not only on this island, not only in Hawaii, not only in the United States, but all over the world. We have people watching us, love streaming from all over the world, all kinds of countries, who are watching in because people connect with this source, with this love. And that's what we are here to unfold in one another. Marianne Williamson, many of you may be familiar with, and she has some wonderful books. She also at one time was the senior minister of Renaissance Unity, which is in Warren, Michigan, a wonderful, large unity church. The love within us is meant to extend outward. Right? What good does it do to just say, oh, I love all the world, but never get out in it? Love is meant to extend outward. The closer we grow to our inner light, we feel a natural urge to share it. We all long for meaningful work, some creative endeavor that will be our ministry, by which the energies within us might flow out to help heal the world. I was in a coffee shop yesterday. I don't drink coffee, but they have other hot drinks and they have food and stuff. And there was this young man that was there. And this young man, offered up his seat for me. I said, you sure? And he's like, yeah, take it, man. It's all right. It's good. And I noticed everyone he encountered in the restaurant. That's what he did. He was just spreading love everywhere. I don't know his name. He's not on the front page, probably, of the paper. And yet, wherever he went, he was touching people with love. Because love is meant to come outward. Love is meant to be expressed and to connect with people. And it can be wherever you are. You don't have to be the CEO of an organization. You're the CEO of your life. And wherever you go, you're expressing the vision and mission of love. You're expressing your own personal vision. You're not here to just pass time. You're not here to just hang out until the sweet by and by. Are you waiting for the sweet by and by? Are you really? Jesus taught us in the Lord's Prayer to pray, thy will be done. Where? Where? On earth as it is in heaven. Really, Jesus? On earth? I grew up thinking that, and kind of taught this at times, that almost like we were here by mistake and that we were just waiting till our trip to the next place, And, if there was misery or difficulties in the world, then, well, Timmy, that's just the way it is. That's because of sin in the world. And because of original sin. And so we really can't fix that. But there will be a day where we'll escape all this and we'll go into somewhere beautiful. And then I read the Lord's Prayer and I'm like, why didn't Jesus get that message? Jesus somehow seemed to think we were supposed to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. What? He was radical, wasn't he? So radical that he said in Matthew chapter 5, you are the light of the world. So radical that later in the Gospels, he said, is it not written in your own scriptures that you are God's? That comes from the Psalms. I mean, then in John chapter 14, Jesus said, hey, you know what? You will do even greater things than the things you're seeing me do. And sometimes when I share that scripture with some of my wonderful fundamentalist friends, they begin to slowly back away. We are here to do amazing things, right? We're not here to play small. We're not here to play small. Your smallness does not serve God. Get over it. We're here to be our divine selves. We're here to be our real selves. We're here to be the best me we can be. So, let me talk a little bit about Nehemiah. Nehemiah, the Jewish people had some rough times, and they were taken into exile. And in the 20th year of Artaxerxes, how many people here have heard of Artaxerxes? Again, the second congregation's doing better. No comparisons. Anyway, we at least have 5. Okay. No, everyone's wonderful. Anyway. So, Artaxerxes was the king of Persia, and his 20th year was about 445, 444 BCE. So we're talking about 2,500 years ago. And Nehemiah was basically what we would today call his administrative assistant. And so Nehemiah, his administrative assistant, said, hey, King Artaxerxes, I've discovered that my home country, my home city, Jerusalem, is in ruins. The walls have come down. The temple is coming down. I want to go rebuild it. Will you let me have some time off, extended time off, a sabbatical, so that I can go and rebuild this? And Artaxerxes said, what a great idea, Nehemiah. I will give you financial backing, and I will provide the supplies too. I think it's a great idea. So, Nehemiah came to Jerusalem, and the people were like backbiting. They were fighting with each other. They were taking advantage of each other. They were like the dogs without a vision. They didn't have a common vision. They had turned on each other. That's what happens when there isn't a common vision. People turn on each other. So, right, it is sad. I know, I'm surprised more of us aren't crying at that point. Sorry. So, Nehemiah came to Jerusalem and galvanized the people and galvanized them around a common vision that this is what we're about. We're all in this together. We're brothers and sisters. We're not supposed to be taking advantage of each other or mistreating each other or disrespecting each other or not listening to each other. We're not here to carry out our own personal agendas. We're here for a vision that is bigger than us. And that's true for any organization. And it's true for us. That there is a vision to pull us all together. So we're all working in harmony in what the New Testament in the Greek calls koinonia. That fellowship, that divine fellowship to bring about a common purpose. And so Nehemiah says, the God of heaven is the one who will grant us success. Now that wasn't just wishful pie-in-the-sky thinking. He was declaring spiritual law. That when we ground ourselves in the vision of Spirit and come together and unite on that vision, nothing can defeat us. Nothing. That's right. It's powerful. It's powerful stuff. It's not only true individually, but collectively as a spiritual community, when we have a vision in common, wow, nothing can hold us back. Nothing can defeat us. We can accomplish anything. And that is the truth of what we're here to do. In the town hall meeting at 1, I'll be sharing a little bit more about the vision that is coming up for me regarding this spiritual community. But let me give you just a few things, and let me give you a disclaimer at the beginning. When it comes to a spiritual vision, you want something so big that it takes God to do it. You want something so big that you can't do it in your ego. Right? You want something so big that people go, really? Okay, so here's just a few things. Within 5 years, my vision is that this church will be averaging 750 congregants on each Sunday morning. And you wonderful love streamers and people on the Lytle TV, we know you're part of this virtual congregation, and we welcome you. I know that you are feeling this love. There's no distance in spirit. And I envision within 5 years that we will have 100,000 love streamers or people who view us online. Now that's not a... Praise God. Thank you. Thank you, Wally. Yeah. Give me a high five on that. Okay. We're just getting warmed up. I envision a youth group that is growing and expanding. I envision classes that are helping us not only to become more educated, but all kinds of workshops and various experiences so we can grow closer to each other. I envision small groups and activities and times to socialize. There's all kinds of things that we are here to do, not only just on this island, not only in this state, not just in the United States, but for the whole world. We are here to set up a tsunami of love that is going to wash out and touch people all over the world. Can you feel it? Yes. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to talk more about that in the town hall meeting at 1. But just know that that vision is our source of strength. That when we have that vision, nothing can hold us back. Nothing can defeat us. We will go forward, and we will do it. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Mahalo. Thank you.